Li Shuer stood there, her chest heaving as she tried to catch her breath. In her entire life, no man had ever dared to touch her, let alone bite her. But this mosquito had not only bitten her but also drunk her blood. The thought alone made her blood boil. As Li Haoran sucked harder, a surge of rage erupted within her. With a deafening bang, she unleashed a powerful defensive force, sending him flying into a nearby tree. The impact was brutal. The tree cracked under the force, splintering as Li Haoran's body slammed into it. He stood up, trembling, brushing off the damage. He wiped the blood from his cheek. "Why are you so angry? It was just a little bite," he said. Li Shuer's aura flared, the air around her crackling with icy energy. 2 small puncture marks on her neck served as a reminder of his audacity. Her voice was cold. "My anger will only subside when I turn you into an ice sculpture," she hissed, her eyes blazing with fury. But then, the system chimed in Li Haoran's mind. Notification. Li Shuer's affection has increased by 15%. A smirk playing on his lips. "Tough-mouthed woman, but with a soft heart," he said. "I am not all talk," she said. She was flustered, her usual composure slipping as she struggled to reconcile her anger with the strange, unfamiliar feelings bubbling inside her. Li Haoran, now calm, realized his gamble had paid off. If she didn't have the intent to kill him outright, he still had a chance to escape. Li Haoran stood frozen, his eyes wide, as a card shot through the air like a bullet aimed straight at his crowatch. Before he could even react, Li Shuer moved like lightning. Her hand snapped out, catching the card mid-flight with effortless precision, saving the future generation. Her sharp eyes darted in the direction of the attack, and she called out, "Show yourself!" From the shadows, 2 figures emerged, assuring Li Shuer that there was no need for alarm. Noting her hesitation to strike, with sly grins they warned her that if she didn't kill him, the elite center would. Li Haoran, the vampire, weary yet vigilant, wondered why 2 high-ranking figures, bearing red titles Superior Gold Rank, Zheng Zhizhi, and Lower Gold Rank, Yu Wen, were so determined to end his life. Meanwhile, Li Shuer, realizing her own aura, declared that she didn't care if they were from the elite center. She pointed at Li Haoran without sparing him a glance. "He's Hong Chung's. We claimed him first. If you want him, you'll have to deal with me." Li Haoran, ever the charmer, flashed a bright smile. He turned to Li Shuer and said, "Only a stunning, elegant, and icy queen like you could ever be worthy of claiming me. Those 2? They don't stand a chance." A system notification flickered in his mind, saying her affection has increased by 30%. Li Shuer's cheeks tinged with a faint blush, but her voice remained steady. "In short, Li Haoran belongs to us. If you want him, you'll have to go through me," she declared. Li Haoran, noticing the system update, smirked. "Your aura alone is enough to make them retreat. Just by standing here, you've already won." Another notification flashed, saying her affection has increased by 45%. He then turned to the Hong Chung group and remarked, "You 2 are impressive. Strong and striking, I'll admit. Definitely a step above those other 2 unsightly fools." The black-haired man from Hong Chung blushed, his tone confident. "Exactly. In the Hong Chung group, we don't fear anyone. We're the ones others should fear." Zheng Zhe was amused, but Yu Wen was frustrated that his negotiation had failed. He signaled Zheng Zhe to proceed. Stepping forward, Zheng Zhe declared that they had given her a chance and launched his attack by hurling 3 cards toward Li Shuer. She effortlessly deflected them by summoning a wall of ice and without hesitation retaliated with a fierce snowstorm. On the receiving end, Zheng Zhe shivered uncontrollably, barely able to keep his eyes open. Yu Wen, however, remained unfazed, though visibly surprised. With a smirk, he remarked to Zheng Zhe that she was clever, using the snowstorm to limit their movement and seize the upper hand. Li Shuer was frustrated that her snow was melting before it could even touch him. She thought to herself that this dwarf was no ordinary opponent. Yet, from his tone, it seemed he didn't even plan to fight. Was he underestimating her? She leaped into the air, ordering her subordinate to keep an eye on him and not let him escape. Her subordinate acknowledged the command, though Li Haoran's attention was diverted by a glimpse of her undergarments, leaving him in awe. As Li Shuer soared high above, she raised her hand, summoning energy that coalesced into shimmering ice rose. Once fully formed, she threw it, sending the rose hurtling toward her enemies. Zheng Zhe scowled, convinced she was mocking him. He spat out, questioning who the hell fought with a flower. But as the ice rose descended upon him, he was instantly encased in a block of ice, his arrogant expression frozen in place. Yu Wen crossed his arms, glancing at the frozen Zheng Zhe with a sigh. He remarked that Zheng Zhe's defeat was becoming a nuisance, and wondered how he was supposed to explain to his father that Zheng Zhe had been bested by a woman. Li Shuer landed gracefully atop the ice block and challenged Yu Wen, asking what the matter was and whether he underestimated women. She warned him that he was next. Yu Wen remained calm, replying that it seemed she still didn't fully understand the situation. 3 arrows sliced through the air, striking 2 Hongcheng men and instantly turning them to stone. The sudden attack left both Yu Wen and Li Shuir stunned. From above, Nico descended swiftly, hugging Li Haoran with a triumphant grin. She declared that she had finally found him. Li Haoran gently pulled her out of the hug, smiling warmly. He called her and asked how she had found him. Nico beamed and explained that she had sensed he needed her, so she had rushed there to help. She added that as long as she could be of use, she would give it her all. Li Haoran was amazed by her determination. Nearby, Li Shuir trembled with barely contained fury as she watched their lovey-dovey exchange. She told herself that her anger was solely because her people had been turned to stone, not jealousy. Storming toward them, she snapped at them to stop flirting and turn her people back to normal. In a flash, Yu Wen appeared in front of Li Shuir, startling her with his speed. He prepared to strike, his voice cold and menacing as he stated that it seemed she had chosen the wrong opponent, attacking his people and thinking she could simply walk away, adding that it wasn't that simple. With a thunderous impact, Li Shuir was sent flying, crashing through trees in the distance. Li Haoran and Nico stared in shock, realizing the overwhelming power of superior gold. Li Haoran understood now. Even a lower gold leader like Li Shuir was no match for Yu Wen. Knowing he and Nico were outclassed, he remembered the system's hint. Reaching 100% affinity with a follower would unlock a secret reward. To survive, he decided to gamble everything. Meanwhile, Nico, though aware of Yu Wen's strength, refused to cower in front of Master Haoran. As Yu Wen turned and strode toward them, his aura flaring ominously, he sneered that he had come for the rare blood beast. But finding a succubus as a bonus was a stroke of incredible luck. He added that bringing them both back would surely impress his father and assured them, with a sinister grin, that it would be quick and painless. Nico fired a barrage of heart-shaped arrows, but Yu Wen charged straight through them unfazed. As he closed in at terrifying speed, his hand outstretched to grab her, Li Haoran acted. In a flash, he used Crimson Flash to snatch Nico away, leaving Yu Wen clutching at empty air. Yu Wen froze, stunned, as Li Haoran was only a level 2 beast. Having used Crimson Flash twice, Li Haoran had no escapes left. He needed to unlock the secret reward before Yu Wen recovered. But Nico's affinity hadn't increased. Nico's voice trembled with disappointment and sadness as she apologized for being useless and making Master Haoran save her. She promised to train harder from now on, her eyes downcast. Li Haoran pulled her closer, his tone gentle but firm, reassuring her that there was no need to apologize. He drew her even closer, and Nico hesitated for a moment, wondering if it was appropriate to kiss her in the middle of a battle. As their lips met, Nico thought to herself that if Master Haoran desired it, she must fulfill his wishes. A notification appeared saying Nico's affinity had increased to 99%. Nico shivered with joy at the kiss, but Yu Wen's fury erupted like a storm. His power surged as he roared, questioning if a beast was truly just a beast, and if they were really hiding there to kiss during a battle. He added that if he had arrived any later, they might have started mating, and he vowed to turn their bodies and souls to ash. Yu Wen lunged toward them, his killing intent palpable. Li Haoran, still kissing Nico, was drenched in sweat, desperately hoping for that final 1% increase. Just as Yu Wen closed in, a protective ice barrier erupted, forcing him to retreat. Yet, Li Haoran and Nico didn't stop kissing, their defiance only fueling Yu Wen's rage. Fuming, Yu Wen turned to Li Shuir, his voice dripping with disdain. He stated that the only reason he had spared her was out of respect for the Hongcheng group and warned her not to get the wrong idea. Li Shuir's response was icy and sharp. She retorted that he made it sound so noble and questioned if he really expected her to believe he would let an enemy live. She declared that the vampire was hers and that if Yu Wen wanted him, he would have to go through her first. As Li Shuir and Yu Wen clashed in a fierce battle, Li Haoran, shielded within the ice barrier, reached the final stage. A system notification announced that Nico's affinity had reached 100%. Overwhelmed with joy, Nico melted into her master's kiss, even in the chaos of battle. Damn, what kind of fetish is this? Another system notification followed, revealing that a secret reward had been unlocked. It congratulated Li Haoran on gaining one-time access to Bloodthirsty Beak. By activating it, he would unlock all the attributes and abilities of the Blood Demon God, granting unparalleled combat power for a duration of 10 minutes. The ice barrier began to crack, filling with a swirling pool of blood. With a deafening bang, a crimson beam shot into the sky, sending a massive wave of energy rippling through the forest. The sheer power stunned both Yu Wen and Li Shuir. As the red beam faded, Li Haoran emerged in his Super Vampire 3 form, his presence radiating dominance. Li Haoran turned toward Yu Wen and coldly asked, "Weren't you going to turn me to dust and ashes?" His voice dripped with menace. Yu-Wen was shocked, confused, and terrified by the sudden surge of power. He thought to himself, wasn't he just a level 2 beast? His confidence crumbled. Li Haoran taunted, "Aren't you going to act? I gave you the opportunity and you wasted it." He activated his skill, Devil's Hand, a dark force yanking Yu-Wen toward him and rendering him powerless to resist. Li Haoran seized Yu-Wen by the throat, his grip tightening as the once arrogant foe gasped for air. Yu-Wen choked out a plea for mercy, but Li Haoran's expression remained stone cold. He stated coldly, "Before, you never spoke to me like this.